Hi everybody, my name is Hassan Dumbia. In this my topic, I'm going to talk about securing of evidence. The aim and objectives of this topic is to understand what is evidence, then understanding how to secure evidence, and understand how to transfer evidence. That is the chain of custody. I'm going to highlight five types of evidence, right? Um, the first one is direct evidence. It simply means that the witness saw it or heard it. Then number two is primary evidence, original documents or objects. Number three is secondaries evidence. This is copy of the primary evidence, right? The photocopy of primary evidence. Then point number four is circumstantial evidence. This is facts that are trained to point a conclusion. Then point number five is hearsay, which we call density. Hearsay is something that someone else have said and they saw. It's not fact, it's not logical, but it's what people see. So these are the five types of evidence, right? Basically, what is evidence? Evidence is something that is tangible, that can prove that somebody is guilty or not guilty. In explaining what is evidence, is a things that can help in forming a conclusion or a judgment. Let's take example, right? The broken of a window or a glass inside one of the room was a circumstantial evidence that a burglary had taken place without a credible or admissive evidence. There will be no conviction. For example, if a glass is broken there, but nobody see it, right? So this one is circumstantial evidence because there is no evidence, right? There is no credible or admissive evidence, so it's not conviction. There is no conviction for that. I'm going to talk about 6 points in controlling access to incident sim, right? Why? I'm going to talk about 6 points in controlling incidents. Point number one: when you are preventing evidence, prevent unauthorized access. Nobody should have access to that place, right? Immediately there is accident or there is daft in your building or something occur in your business places, so you have to control access of people. Then number two, you have to prevent damage to this evidence. It depends on what incident occurs, so you have to prevent this evidence, right? Nobody should have access to your computers and all that thing. Then point number three, you have to prevent the removal of evidence. Then point number four, you have to ensure the integrity of evidence. Then point number five, you have to ensure or continuity of this evidence, right? Then point number six, you have to hand over this evidence to the correct authorities. I'm going to talk about preserving evidence or a sim, a crime scene, how you can prevent where there is the occurrence of incidents occurs, right? I'm going to talk about 9 points. You have to establish a perimeter. Establish a perimeter simply means that you have to create a line that nobody should enter in that place. Then the second steps, you have to remove non-involved person that are not involved in that business place where the incident occur. You should not allow them, right? Then point number three, you have to prevent and authorize entries of any kind of area, you have to prevent them from not entering. You understand? Then you have to do not allow anything that is for, do not allow anything to be tampered with in that particular incident area until the proper authorities they arrive, right? Then point number 5, do not leave any SIM unattended. Make sure that if somebody's still in your company, or there is a fire or something happen, make sure that the right authority are aware of it and investigate it before you leave that particular area, you as a leader. Then number 6, consider photographs. You have to video or take photographs of that incident, right? If you have the video. Then number 7, you have to log in everybody, take details of everybody that is there for evidence purpose. Then point number 8, when another person come in contact of those things, you have to record them. Then point number 9, which is the last one, you have to record all details in your report book. You have to record everything. You as a manager, supervisor, you have to record everything. Then I'm going to talk about what is a crime scene. A scene, the meaning of scene is SCENE. What is scene? Scene simply means that seal the area, that is one. S stand for seal. Then C stand for control that point. Then the E stand for emergency. Then the M stand for notification and information, that you have to inform the proper people. Then the E stand for evacuation of people, right? I'm going to talk about the roles of a leader or manager or supervisor in case there is a crime scene or in case there is an emergency, right? I'm going to highlight 6 points. Point number 1, taking initial controls of this incident. You have to take full control of this incident and try to condemn this area. Then point number 2, you have to retain every witness that are pertaining to this one. Like you have your business place, somebody steal, or in governance or any ministries, people that are involved in corruption. You have to make sure that all these people, you have access to all these people documents, so they cannot able to flee or they cannot able to escape. You understand? So point number 3, you have to record as much as evidence details as possible. You have to take records of everything that happened in that office or in that business place or in that governmental organization or whatever. Then point number 4, you have to contact the appropriate authority, right? You have to contact the appropriate authority. That is point number 4. Like in case of fire, you have to contact the fire force. In case of corruption, you have to the CID or the anti-corruption or any corruption. You have the people that are responsible for that organization. Then number 5, how you have to protect this or preserve this evidence, right? In this evidence, you have to preserve them. Then point number 6, which is the last one, you have to hand over all the evidence that you have to the appropriate authorities, right? Then what you should always remember in a crime scene, you have to record this crime that occur and evidence. You have to record them. You have to make your report. You as a supervisor or manager, you have to make a report and record every details that happen for further information. So to conceptualize all this one, I was speaking about how you can control a crime scene. Anything, a crime is or incident, it can occur at any time, which can lead to evidence. So this evidence, you have to protect this evidence. But evidence is the things that can help us to come to a rightful solutions. Like somebody steal, instead of casting blame on anybody, so you have to have a tangible evidence that can lead to a conclusive judgment. So I will stop here. In my next video I'm going to talk about reports.